everyone, it's happy 20th birthday to The Sims! Bam, bam, bam. Party all day, and thank you to EA for sponsoring today's video to celebrate The Sims 20th birthday. Yay, happy birthday, Sims. And I just want to, take the opportunity today to kind of talk about where I got started in The Sims, what I've loved about the different Sims games, and I thought it was kind of a cool opportunity for you guys to also join in and comment down below what your favorite memories about The Sims are, or on this channel, what you had for breakfast today, whatever you want really. So yeah, grab a cup of tea, relax, and let's talk Sims. I gotta get comfy. I feel like we're gonna have like chats. Maybe I'll get my hood on. Oh, so let's start from the very beginning. When did I first start playing The Sims? Well, my dad brought home The Sims. I must have been at least 9 years old when he brought it home, and as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it. I had played a game called Sim Town.
Ooh, yeah.
Smooth.
It's
so
kind of
crazy.
sad music, actually. It's kind of like this town used to be something else, and it's really falling apart.
And I'd also played Sim Safari and Sim City. Oh my gosh, look at the wild animals. I loved those games so much. And when The Sims came out, I really took to that because for me, it was like playing doll houses on the computer. And I think that's what really drew me to the game. I always liked telling stories, like whenever I played with my Beanie Kids or Barbies, always stories about their lives. I would love setting up little houses and furniture. Even when I would write down letters and numbers, I would always put characters with numbers and colors. And you guys might be thinking like, what does this have to do with Sims? But I feel like this is kind of the mentality of why I love the game so much. And I'd actually draw numbers and letters on a page and then create storylines for those numbers and letters. Like every single little thing I did, it was always about storytelling. So when The Sims came out, I loved the fact I could design people, I could give them names, I could move them into a house, move them into a world. Some of my fondest memories from The Sims 1 would definitely be some of the houses that already existed in the game. I loved the Goth family and the Goth's house. There was this hexagonal house with crazy leopard print wallpaper and like circular windows. I always thought it was so kooky and cool. There was the sunflower house that I'd always like move my perfect family into because it was the perfect family home. And my favorite expansion was probably Making Magic, discovering the magic world. My favorite NPC character from that game would be Sunny the Clown. I loved Sunny the Tragic Clown because whenever your sim was sad, Sunny the Tragic Clown would come along if you had the Sunny painting, I think it was. And he'd come, but he would continually fail to try and make your sims feel better. In fact, it would make them feel worse. And if you tried to like lock him in a room or something or build walls around him, a hole would appear in the ground and he'd just disappear through the hole and then pop up somewhere else. And there was this process you realize that you either have to call these people to catch Sunny the Clown and take him away and also take away the painting, or you could burn the painting and it would burn Sunny the Clown. And I just remember doing that over and over again. And I think that's kind of where my more grim kind of gameplay came in, which we see to this day. Killing Sims has definitely become a little bit of a reoccurring theme on the channel. I promise I'm not crazy. When The Sims 2 came out, I was hugely excited. And by this stage, I would refer to The Sims as my happy place. I could escape to The Sims simulation of life, get away from this life, go into my sim life, and I could do any story that I wanted to and play it any way I wanted to. Sims 2, my favorite expansion was University. I loved the Pleasant Twins and Veronaville. I actually did a lot of Romeo and Juliet kind of gameplay with the Caps and Monties. These were my favorite, you guys. Oh my gosh, I loved these couches so much. Oh, the memories. By the time Sims 3 came out, I was extremely obsessed with Sims. I would play it, gosh, like most nights after school. This is so weird. Oh, I remember this! So many throwbacks right now, you guys. Oh, I loved that family. Oh. So many hours of my life was spent in this game. That's like instant happiness right now. Oh, I loved this guy. Relatable. That's like me at the gym. Cars. Oh my gosh, you guys. Bikes. Sims 3 was also when I really started to develop my favorite type of gameplay, which was drama. I loved creating wealthy families because it was so far from my life experience. I would build these huge houses. I would create these perfect families. And behind the scenes, these families were never perfect. It was kind of like a Real Housewives game in my head. There would be affairs, drama, money, to no money to big money. You know, it was all of those crazy things that I wasn't experiencing in my life, but I could dream up in my head. And that's actually where my Sims 4 series Hampton Falls came from. Really based that whole series on my private gameplay before I started YouTube. And a lot of those families were actually based on the families that I'd played. In Sims 3, I also had a phase where I created the Tatum twins. And they were these two like really good looking teenage boys who were twins. And I got the Tatum twin name from Channing Tatum, who I had a big crush on. And I told like all my friends at school, because they knew I was obsessed with Sims. It was like a little cute, like nerdy quirk. Funnily enough, I rarely ever made my Sim self and my family. I think I only made it, but I would never really make myself. I just had no interest of it being linked in any way to my real life. It was always my fantasy of other lives. And I think that really comes back to the mentality of playing dolls when I was little. Like I'd never pretend a doll was me. It was always a character in my head. Sims 3 also was an amazing game for building and design, like architecture and interior design. I just went to town with using creative style. If you're wondering why is Deli using pool walls, it's because it's the cheapest wall that you can completely customize without interfering with a texture that's already on there. So I blank out all the walls by using the pool wall because it's the cheapest. Whilst I was at school, I was really into graphic design. I wanted to do industrial design at uni, so I'd often use the program as an architecture program. So I absolutely adored the Goth's house, and especially the conservatory room that they had. It was just like a random room with like lots of plants in it. And I loved the size of the Sims 3 worlds. Like they were so big and open, and I loved the maps and the music and kind of scrolling around the maps. And the Sims 3 intro was everything. I loved it. Whenever I see that intro, I just get the biggest like blast of nostalgia. Okay, so fast forward a little bit to when I started YouTube and why I started playing Sims on YouTube, because part of my big appreciation for The Sims is the fact that I've been able to create a career out of it. So that's a pretty big deal for me because now I do this full time and get to share it with all of you. So it's a bit of a sad story, but it ends up with a happy ending. So just bear with me. When I went to uni, I was still playing The Sims, and I started a graphic design degree. I actually have a degree in graphic design, not sure if you know. But yeah, I went to uni to study graphic design, and I played a lot of The Sims whilst at uni. And in my final year, I actually was given the opportunity to go to Italy to study for 3 weeks. But unfortunately, when I got to Italy, I became very, very sick with a tummy bug. Pretty much to just quickly tell you what happened, I was stuck in a hotel room for 3 weeks, essentially, in a country I didn't really know, a language I couldn't speak. It was just pretty tragic situation, to be honest. I only really had my computer and laptop in bed most days, and I wasn't even well enough to play Sims on my laptop. So I started Googling The Sims, and I actually found out that on YouTube, there were people playing Sims, and I started watching other people play The Sims to make myself feel better. I started watching Andrew Arcade, who is awesome. I can't even believe now I call him a friend because he was such a hero for me at the time, I suppose. I also watched Queen, who sadly isn't with us anymore, but I loved Queen. I watched a lot of her Let's Plays. I watched The Sims Supply, who's now one of my best friends as well, which is crazy. And they really got me through this horrible time. When I got back from this trip, I was meant to be away for another 3 weeks, but we had to cut the trip short. I was really ill and I had to recover. And while I was recovering, we realized that I had developed a generalized anxiety disorder for the first time. But of course, because I was feeling terrible, I was dealing with anxiety for the first time, I started having panic attacks. I had to play Sims because it was my happy place. So Sims clearly meant a lot to me. With the anxiety, it was like I couldn't get the train to uni because I would panic. So I had to drive to uni and I would be pulling over multiple times each morning on the way to uni because I couldn't breathe in my car. I'd also leave class, cry in the toilet. It was horrible. That was pretty much how bad the anxiety was, and Sims felt like the only thing I could go to feel better. I continued to watch these YouTube videos of the people I mentioned before. Whilst everything felt so dark, See, this is how much this game means to me. Basically, when I was in such a dark space, even the idea of creating Sims videos myself and putting a build online gave me this spark of happiness and hope that things would get better. I want this to be like a corny, upset video, but here we are. And I also think I just so desperately wanted to meet other people who enjoyed this fantastic game, so I just thought, oh well, I'll hopefully make a new friend.
Hey YouTube, it's Deli here. This is my first ever YouTube video, which is pretty exciting. The reason why I'm doing YouTube is I'm a huge fan of The Sims. I really love the franchise. And I've been playing since, I think, Sims 1 through Sims 2 and now Sims 3, and I cannot wait for Sims 4. That's gonna be epic. But anyway, basically none of my friends play The Sims. And I don't really have an outlet to talk about The Sims even though I want to, so I figured that YouTube, you can be my outlet for talking about it. And yeah, hopefully that's cool. If anyone does end up watching this, and that's nice.
I started putting videos out. They started getting some views, which I was really surprised by. And I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. I did this Sim Guru Beach House video that got the attention of some of the Sim Gurus, and they actually responded to it, which is a really amazing moment because I felt like the Sims knew who I was. And then the Sims actually followed me on Twitter, and that was like an oh my god moment. I was so excited. So if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you might remember the Sims 3 videos. We did a lot of building and design videos. I started an LP called the Aluna Island LP. It was kind of like what Hampton Falls became, but in Sims 3, except my computer was so laggy we couldn't finish it.
Hey guys, it's Deligracy here with my first ever Let's Play. I'm super excited, and it is in the beautiful Aluna Island.
There's a late night LP too. One of my favorite builds was the starter cube build. We did a lot of fun stuff in The Sims 3. For the last 5 years, I've been doing YouTube full time, mostly playing The Sims. The Sims means a freaking lot to me. Like, this game has gotten me through the hardest point of my life, all of the hardest points actually, because it was always something I could escape to since I was a little girl. I have made some of my best friends through this game, and a career has been built on this game. Like, this game supports me and my life thanks to you guys. I just want to say a massive happy 20th birthday to The Sims, and thank you so much to every person who has ever worked on this game for making it what it is. Because without this game, I don't know what I would be doing. So anyway, happy birthday to The Sims. I didn't even really get to talk about Sims 4 all that much and what we've done, but I suppose there's a whole heap of videos you can go watch. But I've just loved all of the building, all of the gameplay, all of the scandal, create a sim, custom content. Just all of it is just, I love it. And I cannot wait to see what else The Sims has in store for us. Anyway, you guys, as always, I just want to say, hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world, and I cannot wait to speak to you and play Sims with you soon. Dag dag.